Hi everyone. Welcome to Fong's Fables. Strap in and let's start the story. Well, I don't even know where to start. I guess I'll just begin at the moment everything snapped. I was on the phone when it happened. I didn't even realize my grandson had cut his hand on a broken glass until it was too late. A cup had fallen off the table. It was an accident. The moment I turned around and saw the blood, I panicked and rushed over. But the damage was done. My grandson, little Lee, was wailing at the top of his lungs. Next thing I know, my daughter-in-law storms into the room, takes one look at the scene and slaps me. Hard. The kind of slap that rings in your ears. "What's the point of keeping you around?" she screamed. "You're worse than a dog. At least a dog can guard the house. You can't even watch a child." I stood there frozen. My son came out too. Did he help? Did he say a word in my defense? No. He just crouched beside his son and muttered, "Mom, how could you not keep an eye on him?" I tried to explain. I was just on the phone. But before I could finish, she slapped me again. "Save it," she snapped. "You useless old hag." That second slap knocked me off balance. I stumbled backward, hit a chair, and landed on the floor. My back exploded in pain. I couldn't speak. I could only gasp like a fish out of water. For a second, my daughter-in-law's expression shifted. Maybe she thought she went too far. She called out to my son, half panicked. "Honey, what if she broke something?" But my son Dylan, my own flesh and blood, just shrugged. "She's used to farm work. She'll be fine." Did he come to help me up? No. I had to push myself off the floor with my elbow, trembling from both pain and humiliation. And as I sat up on that cold, hard floor, it hit me harder than any slap. This was no longer my home. I wasn't a mother. Not a mother-in-law. Not a grandma. I was just free labor, someone to cook, clean, and babysit. And apparently, I couldn't even do that right anymore. When I finally sat up, Dylan said, "See, told you Mom would be okay." Not an ounce of concern. My daughter-in-law sneered. "Stop pretending. Get up, clean this mess, and start dinner." I snapped. "You keep calling me old hag. Who taught you to speak to your elders like that?" That set her off even more. She turned to Dylan. "See, I told you your mom has a problem with me. First, she stiffed me on the dowry, and now she insults me and my family. For the record, we agreed on a $11,000 dowry. I don't know how it turned into me shorting her by $14,000. But I swallowed my pride for my son's sake. And what did I get in return? Absolutely nothing. Even little Lee, my sweet grandson I raised with my own hands, screamed, "Go away, bad grandma. I want Mommy's grandma and grandpa." That was the final blow. I had spent 30 years loving this son, giving my life to this family, raising their child, working like a maid without complaint, and all I got was rejection. Shaking with anger, I said, "Who the hell are you people? You heartless monsters." That's when my daughter-in-law kicked me. Not metaphorically, physically. She grabbed my clothes and started dragging me toward the door. "You want to act like a victim? Fine. Get the hell out of my house." Dylan just stood there, silent. I shoved her hand away and said, "Fine. I'll go. I'm leaving right now." For a split second, Dylan looked surprised. Then relieved. He finally walked over, acting all sweet. "Mom, living in the countryside will be good for you. Fresh air, space to grow vegetables, raise chickens. And hey, if you grow anything nice, you can send it over." Wow, already planning how I could still serve them, from a distance. Does he even remember what that house in the village looks like? It's practically collapsed. No one's lived there in years. And I have no money. No income. What was I supposed to eat? Dirt. I looked at him, at the boy who once clung to my leg crying, "Mama, don't leave me," and realized I didn't recognize him anymore. I said loud and clear, "Dylan, once I walk out that door, we're done. I won't be your mother, and you're no longer my son. Don't come crawling back." My daughter-in-law rolled her eyes. "Don't try to backtrack now. If you've got any dignity, pack your stuff and go. Don't leave anything behind. If you've got any dignity, pack your stuff and go. Don't leave anything behind and come back with excuses." My son hesitated, glanced at her, and finally said, "Come on, Mom. Don't be dramatic. You'll always be my mom." But his eyes were cold. His tone was meaningless. I didn't reply. I went inside to pack. They laughed as I left. Laughed. Probably thought the freeloading old woman was finally gone. There wasn't much to pack. My husband passed over a decade ago. I never bought myself anything. No clothes, no makeup. I grabbed my ID, a few outfits, and left the rest. As I came out, my daughter-in-law scowled. "That's it? Planning to come back for the rest?" She stormed into my room, grabbed the rest of my clothes, stuffed them into a plastic bag, and threw it at my feet. "Take your trash and get out. And if you try to come back, I'll call the cops." I picked up the bag and left. From that moment on, I no longer had a son. I took the elevator down. Only then did the tears come. I had held them in so long. Standing alone at the complex entrance, watching families stroll by with their groceries, I realized I had no home. And just as I was wondering where to go, ding, a text. From the bank. $1.1 million. That phone call earlier? It was from my old village. Turns out, the demolition finally happened. After years of delays, my crumbling old house and a few forgotten plots of land had suddenly turned into $1.1 million. I looked at the plastic bag of clothes and tossed it straight in the trash. I walked out of that complex like a damn queen. At the gate, the security guard stopped me. "Auntie Lee? Heading out. Isn't it getting late? Didn't you say your old house was falling apart?" I gave a vague excuse. Still trying to save face. Still clinging to pride, like a fool. Wu offered to call me a car, said he'd carry my bag. I waved him off. I couldn't speak. If I opened my mouth, I am afraid that I might break down. I got into a taxi and told the driver to take me to the city's busiest commercial district. I checked into a 5-star hotel. Paid for an entire week. I stood in that hotel room, surrounded by plush furniture and warm lights, and I cried like I hadn't cried in years. I cried for my wasted life, for the dream of a loving son, for the woman I used to be, the one who gave everything and asked for nothing. But after that, I took a long, hot shower, wrapped myself in a robe, and ordered room service. Everything I'd never let myself eat. Even a bottle of red wine that probably cost more than Dylan's monthly paycheck. Turns out, being rich feels incredible. I took a bubble bath, sipped wine, and for the first time in decades, I thought, maybe life is just beginning. I pulled out my phone and scrolled to my niece's number. Lynn. She's my sister's daughter. The only family I have left who's worth a damn. I raised my son. But maybe, just maybe, it's time I take care of me. After Dylan got married, I used to invite Lynn over for dinner with her daughter, Lynn Jr. She was like a niece to me. Always considerate, never causing drama. But every time she came by, my daughter-in-law would throw a fit and give her attitude, clearly resenting her presence. Eventually, Lynn stopped coming over altogether to avoid making things hard for me. She hadn't stepped foot in my house for almost a year. But that day, when I called her from the hotel after Dylan and his wife kicked me out, she picked up right away. "Hey, Auntie, you're calling me at this hour? Is everything okay?" I said quietly. "Can you come to the Crown Hotel on River Road? Room 701. I'll explain everything when you get here." Not even 30 minutes later, she arrived. She rushed in and grabbed my hand, scanning me from head to toe. "Auntie, you scared the hell out of me. You didn't explain anything on the phone. I thought something terrible had happened. What are you doing in a hotel? Did something happen at home?" The second she asked that, the dam broke. All the humiliation of being driven out by my own son came flooding back. I couldn't hold back the tears. I sat there, sobbing, unable to speak. Lynn gently patted my shoulder and led me to the couch. "Auntie," she said softly, "tell me everything." Between tears and sniffles, I recounted what happened. How Dylan and his wife yelled at me, how they threw my stuff out, how even my grandson Little Lee told me to leave. Lynn's face turned red with anger. "Those ungrateful brats. Let me go over there and sort them out." I shook my head. "No use. I'm done with them. I'm just going to live my life as if I never gave birth to that son." Lynn looked into my swollen eyes, didn't say much, just went to the bathroom and came back with a cold towel for me to place over my face. As I lay there with the towel pressed to my eyes, I asked, "What about you? We haven't talked much in months. Every time I call, you say you're busy. What's going on?" She sighed. "Auntie, I am not gonna lie. I've been really busy. I got divorced. My ex wouldn't stop harassing me, and I didn't want you to worry, so I didn't tell you. But it's okay now. My daughter's with me. I live alone with her now. Auntie, why don't you check out of this hotel and come live with me? My place is small, but at least you'll have a home." I put down the towel and grabbed her hand. "Why didn't you tell me earlier? I'm still your family. I would have backed you up. She smiled weakly. It's not the weekend. Lynn Jr.'s still in school. I'll tell you everything when we get home. She helped me pack and said, Auntie, let's check out and go home. You'll only be mistreated if you go back to Dylan's. I don't make much, she added, but I can still support one more person. I nodded. All right, I'll stay with you for a while. And honestly, living at Lynn's house felt like sunshine after a long, cold winter. She was so kind. On the first day, she introduced me to a group of women who did plaza dancing downstairs. Little Lynn was adorable, always giving me the first bite of whatever snack she had. To anyone looking from the outside, we looked like a happy little family. Not once did Dylan call to check on me. Didn't ask where I went. Nothing. I tried not to show how hurt I was, but Lynn saw right through it. Auntie, she said, come with me to our factory. Take your mind off things. If you miss the kid, I'll go back with you to visit. After her divorce, Lynn started a small wickerwork factory with a few like-minded friends. She did mention it before. Most of her employees were local women, left behind to care for children and elders while their husbands worked far away. I said, all right, sounds interesting. I actually know some wickerwork myself. Your grandma taught me back in the day. We packed up and headed out. The factory was just a few rented warehouses on the outskirts of town. From the outside it looked old, but inside it was lively. Women of all ages sat weaving and chatting. Everyone greeted Lynn with smiles and laughter. I asked, why wickerwork? This stuff isn't worth much. You can use one basket for years and it'll never break. Doesn't seem profitable. Lynn smiled. Auntie, these women from the nearby villages, they're raising kids and taking care of their in-laws. No one respects their effort. I just wanted to create a job they could do, something that gives them confidence. My friend's family knows the craft, so we decided to give it a try. Now, these wicker products are really popular. They've even been listed as a cultural heritage craft. Our town's famous for it. People love the stuff we make. Seeing her eyes sparkle with pride stirred something in me. That night, back at her place, I finally told her about the demolition payout. Her eyes widened. Wait, Auntie, you're rich now. I swatted her arm. Don't tease me, you brat. I took a deep breath. On the way back, I thought it through. I can't stay miserable. Dylan and his wife, they don't deserve another thought. Even little Lee, who I raised, doesn't want me around. But those women at your factory? Some of them are older than me. They're still working hard, still living. I'm only 52. I can't give up yet. I want to invest $200,000 in your business. I want to be part of something. Lynn shook her head immediately. Auntie, no. That's your retirement money. I can't take it. If you're bored, you can garden or go shopping or travel. Our factory only needed less than $100,000 to start. I don't even know when we'll make a return. I believe in you, I said. Use it to grow your business. That's all the thanks I need. She nodded, eyes full of tears. The next day, I transferred $200,000 to another account, meant for Dylan. Even after everything, I softened. He'd mentioned wanting to buy a better school district house for little Lee, but they never had the money. I figured this would be the last thing I ever did for him. Lynn went with me to their place. I knocked. My daughter-in-law opened the door halfway, immediately frowning like she had seen a ghost. What are you doing here? I need to speak to Dylan. Her face turned black. What for? Regret getting kicked out? Trying to come crawling back? Not happening. Lynn had enough and shoved her. Is that how you speak to your elders? Where's your manners? She tried to slap Lynn, but I pulled her back. I didn't want Lynn dragged into this mess. Inside, I heard someone ask, "Who is it?" "Oh, nobody, just someone at the wrong door," she snapped. They had already moved in their in-laws. No wonder they wanted me out. Just as she tried to shut the door, Dylan came home. "Mom, why are you here? And why'd you bring her? You trying to embarrass me?" His wife sneered. "Your mom sure is something. Shows up with backup." I ignored her. "Dylan, you said before you wanted to buy. Whatever it is, we can't help you," she snapped. "We don't have money for your nonsense." Dylan dragged me to the elevator. "Mom, please leave. You were supposed to be in the countryside. Why are you back? Did Lynn put you up to this? She wrecked her marriage, and now she wants to ruin mine?" He looked desperate. If you don't leave, my wife's going to divorce me. Please don't do this to me. I stared at him, my own son, looking at me like I was a burden. That was it. The final break. Back at Lynn's place, she looked at me nervously. Auntie, if you're hurting, it's okay to cry. I'm not hurting, I said. I'm done. I'm free. And I meant it. They didn't want me? Fine. I didn't need them. I had money. I had health. I had time. No son, no daughter-in-law, no grandkid to weigh me down. Finally, I could live for me. I'm counting on you now, I joked to Lynn. Go build your empire so I can enjoy retirement. She grinned. Deal. I'll make you the happiest little grandma ever. Over the next few days, she took me out for hot pot, facials, shopping. Lynn Jr. told me stories from kindergarten, sticking to me like glue. I ordered a bunch of flowers online to plant on the balcony. One afternoon, as I watered my roses with a face mask on, my phone rang. It was Dylan. Mom, where are you? The neighbors said you haven't been back. I was worried sick. Where are you? Let me come get you. Little Lee misses you. Oh, now he remembers I exist? I said nothing. He took my silence as a sign he was winning. Mom, I heard your old house's demolition payout was $1 million. That's amazing. Let's celebrate together. I laughed. Yeah, but what's it got to do with you? He stammered. Mom, come on. This is great news. Let me pick you up. I cut in. I was going to give you $200,000. But you didn't even let me through the door. Remember that? Mom, don't say that. I'm your only son. Who else are you going to give your money to? Your grandson? Me. I'd rather burn it, I said coldly, than give a penny to ungrateful wolves like you. I hung up. That night, I told Lynn. I think they'll come cause trouble. She frowned. Maybe take a trip, Auntie. Cool off. They'll settle down eventually. But the next day, before I could even pack, Dylan and his wife showed up at Lynn's door. Mom, I missed you. His wife smiled and pulled out a new outfit. Look, Mom, I bought you a new dress. Try it on. I dodged it like it was contaminated. Get that cheap garbage away from me. They froze. Dylan gave her a look. She plastered on a fake smile again. Mom, she picked it out just for you. I rolled my eyes. I don't have a daughter-in-law anymore. I don't even have a son. Their faces went pale. Then she whispered, Mom, I know I upset you. Please forgive me. Oh, forgiveness? I sneered. What are you offering? I'll let you scold me, even hit me. Just don't stay mad. Well, since you insist. Smack. Right across her smug little face. She stared at me in shock. Guess she didn't expect the doormat to strike back. Dylan jumped in. Mom, are you calm now? His wife forced a smile, still nursing her cheek. You've hit me. Are we good now? I rubbed my hand. Calm. I've been calm. Dylan lit up. See, we're family. Family doesn't hold grudges overnight. Oh, honey, you're right about one thing. We were family. But now, not anymore. I didn't say a word. I wasn't angry anymore. Not because they deserved my peace, but because they weren't worth my rage. I've still got decades left to live. Why waste my health being mad at people like them? They both nodded like bobbleheads. Yes, yes, of course. You're the elder. You wouldn't hold grudges against the younger generation. Thick-skinned, doesn't even begin to cover it. They were standing there playing dumb like I couldn't see right through them. Clearly, this wasn't the end of their little performance. Sure enough, Dylan slid over and sat beside me, his voice dropping into that fake sincere register. Mom, you know little Lee's going to start elementary school in a few years. We were thinking of buying a better house in a nicer school district. We're still short a little over $100,000. There it was. The real reason they came. The whole circus act was just a lead-up to asking for money. I didn't flinch. I don't have the money, and even if I did, I wouldn't give it to you. You can give up now. Dylan got flustered. He tried again. Mom, this is for your grandson. When you're old, little Lee will definitely take care of you. What? That shameless pitch again? My grandson is going to take care of me? I scoffed. Listen carefully. I don't have money. I don't have a son. And I sure as hell don't want a grandson to repay me. Dylan wouldn't quit. Come on, Mom, don't joke like that. Didn't the relocation compensation just come through? I stared at him coldly. You mean that money? I'm saving it for retirement. Who knows what illnesses or emergencies I might face in the future. His wife tried to chime in sweetly. Mom, don't say that. You've got us to take care of you. I couldn't help but laugh bitterly. You two tried to kick me out. Did you think about taking care of me then? Don't take me for a fool. Get out. If you don't leave now, I'm calling the police. And when the cops show up, it won't be me who's embarrassed. I threw her own words right back at her. Dylan's wife looked like she was about to explode, but Dylan stopped her. He patted her hand and turned to me again. Mom, we were wrong before. Please forgive us. You're clearly upset today. We'll come back in a few days. And with that, he dragged his wife out the door. But just as they were waiting for the elevator, I heard her snap. That old hag actually dared to slap me. Why didn't you protect me? Now I got slapped, and we didn't get a single cent. Dylan tried to calm her down. You need to be patient. If I defended you, she would have gotten angrier. It's okay. If we keep visiting her, she'll cave. I'm her real son. If I keep sweet-talking her, she'll eventually hand over all the money. I heard everything. Every last word through the door. My dear son. So good at scheming. Unfortunately for you, your plan is doomed from the start. I spent half my life giving everything to this so-called real son. I bought him a wedding home, dropping nearly $100,000 on it. And what did I get in return? A greedy daughter-in-law. An ungrateful son. A slap in the face. But thank God I woke up. It's not too late. That evening, when Lynn got home, I told her everything that happened. Lynn thought for a moment and said, Auntie, they're definitely going to come again. It's no use talking to them now. Maybe you should take a trip? Just leave town for a while. I shook my head and told her my real plan. I want to buy a home. I've lived over half my life, and I still don't have a place that's truly mine. If I live in my own house, no one can kick me out. With those two and their thick skins, I can hide temporarily but not forever. And I don't owe them a damn thing. So why should I hide? I'll just live my life boldly. The very next day, I bought a 1,400 square foot, fully furnished condo. I live in a third-tier city, so property prices are reasonable. It cost me just under $150,000 in full. The community has tight security and great privacy. Even if Dylan finds out where I live, it'll be hard for him to bother me. Of course, they weren't going to give up on the $1 million relocation payout that easily. Sure enough, not even a week after I moved in, Dylan showed up again, this time alone. He burst through the door, dropped to his knees, and began howling. Mom, look what she did to me. She said if I don't buy that school district house, she's divorcing me. Please, Mom, help me. I looked at his face and noticed several long scratches. Frankly, it looked hilarious. I was deadpan. Whether you divorce or not has nothing to do with me. You don't need to come all the way here to inform me. He kept pleading. Mom, little Lee's only 3. Do you really want him to grow up without a mother? Do you really want my family to fall apart like this? I stayed calm. What family? You kicked me out, remember? Might as well make it official. The sooner the better. Dylan fell silent for a long while, clearly embarrassed. So he did know what shame was. I went on. And don't even think about that money. Honestly, I've already spent it all. Don't waste your time. He freaked out. What? You spent it? Did someone scam you? That's $1 million. We need to go to the police. I shrugged his hand off. No need. It's gone. I'm broke. Don't come back. He still wouldn't give up. Mom, I know I was an ungrateful jerk before. I hurt you. But I swear, from now on, I'll treat you right. Please don't abandon me. If I don't buy that house, she's leaving me. Help me. I looked at this pathetic version of my son, begging on his knees, and all I could feel was irony. The son who once despised me now groveling for cash. I kicked him out. Go. I really don't have money. And if not buying a house means she'll leave you, good riddance. What happens when she wants a luxury car? A villa. Can you give her that too? Then his expression changed. He sneered. Did you give all the money to Lynn? I knew it. Why else would she take you in? She's brainwashing you, trying to get her hands on your money. Just then Lynn walked in the door. Dylan glared at her like she was the devil. I knew it. You only took her in so you could sweet-talk her out of her money. You conniving snake. Lynn's face turned red with rage. Dylan, you're slandering me. When did I ever try to steal your mom's money? You're disgusting. Dylan pointed at her, spitting venom. You failed to get anything from your divorce, so now you're after my mom's cash? Dream on. I'd had enough. No one is stealing my money. If anyone's obsessed with it, it's you. I've said it before, I don't have money. Now get out of my sight. Dylan spat on the floor in Lynn's direction. Trash. Just you wait. I looked at Lynn and sighed. You see that? That's the creature I raised. Don't try to talk me into forgiving him. I won't. He's rotten to the core. Lynn looked pained. I don't know how he ended up like this. Neither do I replied with a bitter smile. But I do know one thing, I need to get away. And fast. So we moved again. Year-end rolled around, and Lynn's handmade crafts business took off. Her studio was booming. I'd help out sometimes when I had nothing better to do. Dylan and his wife had gone quiet for over a month, and I thought I'd finally gotten some peace. We'd changed homes, changed numbers. Surely that was the end of it. I was wrong. They were cooking up a bigger scheme. Lynn's workshop had started live streaming the crafting process, and with the growing popularity, their shop had built a solid customer base. Sales were rising. Then, out of nowhere, a video went viral. Craft shop owner scams elderly woman out of $200,000. Guess who posted it? Dylan and his wife again. In the video, they cried pitifully, saying I took the relocation money and ran off. Said I promised to buy a house for little Lee but bailed, and even accused Lynn of scamming me out of $200,000 to open her business. Worse, they claimed Lynn brainwashed me, and now I refuse to acknowledge my real son. The nerve of those two, twisting the truth like that. But I wasn't dead, and I had a voice. That video nearly destroyed Lynn's business. Online trolls flooded the live stream. Orders were canceled. Buyers called her unethical. Some people even offered to sue on Dylan's behalf for free. He didn't dare actually sue. But we did. We consulted a lawyer. Lynn filed a lawsuit against Dylan for defamation and slander, seeking compensation and a public apology. When Dylan got the court summons, he panicked. He tried to find me, but he couldn't. I'd changed numbers and moved again. In court, I testified, explaining exactly why I invested $200,000 in Lynn's studio. I even presented a signed partnership agreement, proving I was a shareholder. There was no fraud. Dylan tried to argue I didn't ask for his permission to invest. The whole courtroom laughed. It's her money, someone said. Why would she need your permission? Lynn won the case easily. Dylan was ordered to publicly apologize and compensate for the studio's losses. The apology video went viral. Suddenly, our side of the story exploded online. People learned that I was slapped and kicked out of my home by my own family. Dylan and his wife became pariahs. Even after he deleted the videos, the internet wasn't done. Trolls found their workplace info and flooded their jobs with complaints. Dylan worked at a state-owned company. He was put on leave for reflection. His wife's job? Gone. The company was downsizing anyway, and they used this as an excuse to fire her. Now they sit at home, broke, blaming each other for everything. Dylan's mother-in-law packed her bags and left. Not my problem anymore. Whatever shred of mother-son love once existed had long since been used up. Meanwhile, Lynn's business was thriving. We expanded the factory. My initial $200,000 investment paid back in full through dividends in under 2 years. I didn't need the money, so I donated most of it to orphanages and elder homes. Now I finally had time and money to enjoy life. Lynn and I would travel together. I'd spent decades being someone's mom, someone's wife. I'd never taken a real vacation. Now I was healthy, happy, and free. I traveled all over the country, meeting amazing people and rediscovering joy. The next time I heard about Dylan, Lynn told me on a high-speed train to Yunnan. Turns out, after Dylan's wife lost her job, she stopped trying. Dylan's paycheck wasn't enough, so he had to pick up a second job delivering food. Still, it wasn't enough. Eventually, she cheated with a small-time contractor. The contractor's wife caught them in bed and beat them senseless. Dylan got divorced. Now he's raising little Lee alone. Lynn told me all this while I was sipping tea, staring out the train window at the beautiful countryside flying past. I smiled and felt nothing but peace.